Chapter 3 Timekeepers Joslyn. I stood beside my brother as a remarkable scene unfolded within the mysterious doorway of light. The shadowy ghost descended on a plump, middle-aged man with a big nose, who was dressed in colonial military attire and standing alone. The man winced and blinked as the darkness seeped into his chest. I stared dumbfounded at the supernatural event that transpired before my eyes. When the man blinked, his brown eyes turned steely gray, yet no one at the party seemed to notice. Another man approached him and whispered, "General Benedict Arnold, I have a message for you from Major John Andre. He looks forward to meeting with you," and he slipped the plump man a note. In an unfamiliar voice but with the tone and malice of the ghostly apparition, Benedict Arnold replied, "Thank you. I, too, look forward to our meeting." Then the bright doorway blinked closed. The only remaining light was that narrow beam of light filtering through the single small window of the attic. The room was quiet, almost peaceful. A few minutes passed before either of us said a word. "Josh, what just happened?" I asked. "I think Benedict Arnold just got taken over by a ghost," he replied. "A ghost we let loose." "That was," Josh began. "Terrifying," I finished. "Amazing," Josh said a second later. "How can you even say that?" I stood up. "I mean, it was terrifying too, but think about it. That was probably the most amazing thing that ever happened to us. A real live ghost appeared and scared us almost to death." Josh stood there with a goofy smile on his face. "Yeah, and he threatened to destroy us and end America." Yes, there is that too. Is that what he meant when he said America will never have been born?" "Josh, I'm pretty sure that ghost went back in time and is going to change the outcome of the Revolutionary War." My voice cracked a bit with worry. I was trying to get Josh to take this more seriously. "How is he going to do that if he takes over the body of Benedict Arnold? I mean, everyone knows that Benedict Arnold was a traitor that got caught during the Revolutionary War." "The people back in 1776 don't know that. What if he never got caught? What if he betrays West Point to the British?" I shook my head, disappointed that Josh wasn't getting it. "What are you talking about, sis? Isn't West Point where all the army soldiers go to school? That would be the last place I would try to betray America." Josh cocked his head and raised an eyebrow. Yes. Right now, West Point is a school for army officers, and it's super hard to get into. But in 1780, West Point was an important fort in a really important place. If the British captured that fort, we might have lost the Revolutionary War, and the colonies would have remained part of England. That stinks. Does that mean we would all be talking like we're from England? Blimey, mate, where is me cup of tea? "Josh, this is serious. It means no Constitution, no United States of America, and it probably means no us. We might never have been born. I read once that if even one small thing changes in the past, it can alter the future in a big way. It's called the butterfly effect." "Why is it called that?" "In theory, the flapping of a butterfly's wings could change the path of a tornado. Think of it this way. If we go back in time and meet our mom and convince her to not move to Virginia, then she never meets Dad, and you are never born. You never get married and have a son who becomes a scientist who discovers the cure for cancer. Millions of people die who could have lived a long, happy life. In other words, one tiny change can make a tremendous difference in the world." Whoa, that hurts my brain. "I'm going to hurt more than your brain in a second. It's your fault that Ghost got loose. If you had just given me that powder horn..." "You were pulling too, so don't blame it all on me. Hey, by the way, maybe that letter from great-grandma with the pedigree chart says something about the ghost." I grabbed the big family history book I had set down right before everything happened and opened it to the first page. "Did you ever meet Great-Grandma Nellie?" Josh asked. "No, she was gone long before I was born. She is actually our great-great-grandma. I just know she kind of disappeared or something." "What?" Josh asked. "Grammy told me the story last Thanksgiving when I asked her about the key she always wore around her neck. She told me that it was a family heirloom passed down from generation to generation. Then she told me the story of how great-great-grandma Nellie Mae left her daughter the key and a note right before she disappeared. The note talked about going on a trip far away and how much she loved her daughter and would miss her. No one ever figured out where she went or what happened to her. Maybe this letter will tell us why she disappeared. Now stop asking questions and let me read the letter. Just listen. To the Anderson descendants. Enclosed within this book, you will find a pedigree chart and a history of the Anderson family. I have only recorded the names of those who are direct bloodline ancestors. Also in this chest are the family Bible and the secret journals of my timekeeper ancestors. Wait, what did she mean by timekeeper ancestors? Josh asked. Shh, quiet. Let me read, I continued. It has taken a lot of work to maintain and guard the information enclosed herein. And of course, it has been an extraordinary experience serving as a timekeeper. This family history and these journals provide the next generation of timekeepers with a record of their ancestors from ancient times to the present day. These records should be helpful to strengthen and bind my descendants together by informing them of who their ancestors are, where and when they lived, and the amazing deeds they accomplished as timekeepers. Josh interrupted again. I want to be a timekeeper. Quit interrupting, let me finish. If for any reason you have not been told the family secret, I must tell you now. We belong to the Timekeepers, a secret organization that protects the timeline of mankind. Unfortunately, there are those who seek to break that timeline. We call them time breakers. Josh fidgeted and opened his mouth to say something. I glared at him until he closed his mouth and stopped wiggling. The time breakers seek to break the true timeline in an effort to control the history of the world and, in so doing, ruin the grand plan of humanity. They will stop at nothing to break the timeline and will even kill to achieve their purpose. We must stop them. We have been enlisted by a small group of 12 men and women known as the Time Council. I have met the members of the council, and I know them to be good and honorable men and women, each direct descendant of the Anderson family. By virtue of their bloodline, is called to be a timekeeper and to respond to the time watch when activated. The watch will chime 3 times when the call comes. You have a set time frame to respond to the call and complete the mission. If you don't accept the call and complete your mission in the time allotted, the gravest consequences will occur. I implore you to heed the call and fulfill your duty, which has been passed down from generation to generation. You are an Anderson and part of a larger family of McAndrewses, McAndreses, and McGillandrishes. You are a descendant of the Gaelic Scots, and everyone who carries these genes has certain characteristics. The Andersons are known for their idealism, thinking, obedience to the law, independence, and love of freedom. I stopped reading. This time, Josh hadn't interrupted. It was on me. I thought about what Great-Grandma Anderson had said about the Andersons' idealism and love of freedom, and realized how true that was about my dad and his mom, and even me. Come on, Joslyn. Keep reading. What else does it say? Josh urged. He was jumping up and down like he had to go to the bathroom, so I continued. At some time in the past, the motto "Stand Sure" was attached to the family name. As in all such cases, it was undoubtedly selected as somewhat descriptive and partly inspirational.